Hey, it's me, Wood again. That log who likes to mod and sometimes streams on Twitch. We are going to be doing something very fun today, and that's called character variables. Now, first let's do a little review of what we did last time. We go into the game, a normal game, I don't know, Prolog, and we go to Renault, click on our dude Baldur, click confirm. We get like, oh, watch the opening. If we click cancel, can't be bothered to watch the opening, we get this menu. This is what we did last tutorial, which was, I think, was tutorial 3. We're on tutorial 4 now. Tutorial 3, we messed with numeric variables, which were kind of cool because we can say like, oh, I want 100 money. Ooh, look. See, we're using a variable to increment that money, and we can also like double it. We did that last video. So if you want to figure out how to do, or if you want to learn a little bit more about numerical variables, you can go watch the last video, or you can ask me to explain further on a subject that you don't understand in the comments below. I will go through it. I may make a more in-depth tutorial if you need it, or I will just comment back and tell you what you may need to do. I don't know. I'll try to help if I can. But today, we're doing character variables. Character variables are a bit different than numerical. So if you look on the map, you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of spots and stuff in the map. Spots are cool. And I mean spots as in like places. You see like checkpoint however you say that word, or like Libya or Imperial capital of Ortega. These are all little spots in the maps, and also you notice that the spots have characters in them, and those are kind of cool. Now, a character variable is referencing a spot, a person, or a power. Typically, I think they can reference some other things as well, but for now we're going to focus on that. They're going to reference like an actual entity within the game, kind of. Now, I'm going to be a little bit rusty on that. Last time I think I said it was like referencing strings, which isn't technically true. It's referencing like a string of an entity, or like an ID, kind of. So character variables are kind of neat in that way. Now, what we're going to work on. Okay, I'm going to go into our code. So we did an event last time, which is Baldur OP3, which is, yeah, all the money stuff. That's cool, that's cool. I want to do something maybe after it. Yeah, I think so, yeah. We'll do something after it. And we're gonna get a character variable. Now, character variables, if you go into the link provided below, that is like the Vahrentuga encyclopedia, whoa, for the scenario editing, it's this little page here, and I have it where it's Google translating it. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll find a little link right here, function assignment to variable. So we're going to click on that. Oh. I think I may have shown this a little bit for the numeric variables. So if we translate again, come on. You'll see like there's the set, add, subtract, multiply, divide. All this is all numeric variables. But if we scroll down a little bit more. Little bit more, I'm pretty sure. Yes, assignment to a character variable. Now, character variables, they're a bit funny. Character variables are not just one. You don't just put one thing into a character variable. I mean, you can put one thing into a character variable, and you probably will do that. However, character variables are kind of like arrays. You can actually store multiple things into a character variable. We actually can, like, store the player unit. So we're going to store, let's say, the player unit. You're like, oh, that's kind of funny. So what this will do is it'll get the player unit, which should be Baldur if we're playing as Baldur, and we will assign it a name. So you can assign your character variable a name. I'm gonna call it like player character. Not terribly original, but that's fine. Let's go back to it. So now that we've signed, we're going to store the player unit into that variable. So that means anytime we call that variable, it's going to return Baldur, or whoever the player character is at the time we did like that little function. Now that's cool. That's neat. How do we use that? Well, we can look down a little bit more. If you notice, there's some more things here, like store power of unit. What this does, like just as an example, is it takes a unit or a character variable, either one, a unit or a character variable of a unit, and it returns it into a character variable. And you're like, what the heck does that mean? Storing a power of a unit. Basically what you're getting is you put a unit in here, or the character variable that is saved in unit, and it will return what their power was. And by power, I mean like their faction. So this is kind of cool. So I'm going to use this as well. Oop. And we're going to do character variable. Character variables, whenever you reference a character variable, you do the @ symbol. There, right in front of it. And then we're going to make another character variable. This will be power of character variable. Of course, you can call it whatever you like. That's what we're going to call it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to print out our, the character variable. We'll just say, like, what this is doing right now is it's just getting the faction that Baldur is in. They'd be like, your character is in the... Now, how do we do the variables again? We're doing it, like, actually print it into a text. We do @ or, like, not @ ands. I'm sorry, it's an and symbol. We're going to do those two ands, and then we're going to get our character variable, and we're going to put it right here. Now, character variables, like I said earlier, they are kind of like an array of variables. So what this is going to do is it's actually only going to print out the first thing in that array, or like in the character variable. So it'll be like index 0 or something for that. Just for future reference, we won't be worrying about that right now since we're only returning one thing. So your character is in this faction. Wow, that's cool. We're going to save, and then we're going to play, and hopefully it works. Knowing my luck, it may not, because I am going off the, I don't have a script for this again. I'm kind of just like, oh, let's do this. Let's get it done. Let's see if it works. So we're going to go into modding tutorials. That's where we've been doing our stuff. We're going to open it. We're going to go to normal game. We're going to Prolog birth. Then we're going to go find our Baldur. Baldur! So I put it in where you click cancel, and then you just leave. Look. Your character is in the Renaald Empire faction. Whoa, that's so crazy. That's cool. I'm glad it worked on the first try. So yeah, we are part of the Renaald faction, so that is correct. And that is kind of neat. Cool. Now I think you could probably go and like do something yourself with that information. However, we're going to explore kind of the array function. I keep saying array, it's not really an array. I consider it an array though. We're going to do something funny here. Let's get out of lost technology. We're gonna use multiple elements in the array, and how you do that is kind of interesting. You can do a store all. So these storing functions right here, like look, store all spot, assign all identity identifiers, and what this or to all territory identifiers. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. What that means is basically storing like every single spot or place on the map into one variable, and you're like, that's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. You can also do, where's a good one? You can do store all power, which gets all the factions and puts it into a character variable. That's kind of neat. I want to do something a little bit different. I want to find the spot. Wait. Store spot of units. Yes. Wait, I think so. Territory identifier, the argument unit can roam exist to a character variable. I think maybe this. Sorry. Let me think a little bit. What of unit? I think this will work. Or power of spot. I mean that works too. But let's do spot of units. I think this will work. I think this is what this variable or this function, I'm sorry, will do is it will store. It'll take the unit that you reference in the units right here in this little part, and then give you back what spot they're in. Which is kind of cool. We're gonna get the spot that Baldur is in. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of fun. So we're gonna get our spot. Sorry, I know it might be kind of hard to follow. We're gonna get our character variable, because we may not always be Baldur. We're gonna put it in there. So it'll get Baldur if we are the player character, but whatever player character you are, it will use it, since it's storing the player unit, whatever. Then we're gonna make a character variable. We'll call this like spot player is in. Wow. Now what we could also do with that, since we're getting the spot from it, we could probably use that spot character variable to find all of the units in that spot. That'd be kind of cool. So how do we do that? I think I'm pretty sure we scrolled down a little bit, or maybe not. No. Store leaders of spot? This might work. So what this does is it's going to take in a territory variable, which is like, it can be a character variable, and then it's going to return us the variable of all the leaders of that spot. So identifiers of all unit leaders. So every unit that is actually leading a squad. I'm pretty sure. So we're going to see what that does. We're going to put it right here. Wow. And then we're going to use the spot player is in as the territory. Oh, oh. And we'll get the character variable. Now the thing is, so this will be like units or leaders in spot, let's say. The thing is we can't just print this out. The reason being is because there could be a lot of leaders in one spot, and if we just print it out like how it is, like how we did with the message right here, it's only going to print whatever in like the index of 0. So it'll only print one thing. So we want to print everything within it. Now the question is, how do we do that? Well, have you ever heard of a for loop? We're going to do a for loop. A for loop is kind of cool. This is a for loop kind of index. Index is kind of cool. What this will do, I'm pretty sure, yeah. We'll do in this. Blech, sorry. Okay. This is kind of funky. So we're gonna get a character variable A, an index value, and then a character variable B. Assigns the index element of character variable A to character variable B. The index is the first element, but the index of the first element is 0. Okay. If you enter an index value greater than the number of elements, you can retrieve the last element. That's a lot of words. What does that mean? So basically, we're going to put our first character variable in. That's going to be like all of the units or leaders in that spot. That'll be where we put it. So let's go ahead and throw that in. Boop, boop. So this will actually this is going to be our for loop. For loop for every character, or I guess leader, sorry. Leader in spot. We actually could put this in a while loop. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put it in a while loop. It's been a little bit since I've done this, so let me go ahead and do that. So let's say like, I don't know, while 1 equals 1 again. Can we be bad again? If you're smart, don't do this. You can probably think of something, but I'm kind of done right now. I'm gonna do this until it doesn't work. I'm gonna need to put in a character variable. The character variable I got is leaders in spot. Whoa. I'm gonna put that in here. Index value, we're gonna go ahead and go 0. I think the index value is just where it starts at, I'm pretty sure. Character variable B, so this will be the character variable that it's actually like going through every time. So we'll make this like current leader. And if it doesn't make sense yet, it will hopefully in a second. Oh, maybe actually, this variable right here, maybe we should do it ID X. I'm pretty sure, actually, if I remember here. Actually, we could reference it. Hold on. I know I'm going back and forth. Be patient with me for a second. If I scroll all the way up, I'm pretty sure there's a reference here. Of a... Yes. Here it is. So this is our for loop. Okay. I wasn't insane. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay, cool. Actually, now that I'm looking at it. It's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot to do my ats. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. Hold on. I need to do at... Boop. I don't think I need to do an at for... It's okay. It's fine. I'm pretty sure. We'll see. We'll see if it's fine. They do an at here. We can do an at there. I typically don't put an at there. Do an at there? Okay, sure. Why not? Okay. We're also gonna do a set IDX 0. Yes. Okay. What this is doing is we're setting IDX to 0 before we do the loop. Then within IDX in here, IDX will be set to 0 automatically. Well, no, it's not gonna be set to 0 automatically. It's gonna be set to 0 because of this before it. Now, if you don't have a set before it, what's gonna end up happening is that your loop is going, okay. It's just going to start at 0 naturally unless you've already incremented it before. And if you have incremented it before, then it's just going to leave off where it had started. So if you'd done this loop already and went to like IDX 7, it's going to start at 7 here. So it's good practice to set it again if that's how your loop works. But you may have your own preferences. Within this while, we have actually an IDX equal or is less than the count of all. We should do that too. Instead of doing the I or the 1 equals 1. Sorry, I'm getting through it. We're gonna put leaders in spot. What this does, if you don't understand what it does, is it actually counting the elements within this character variable. So it's going to count all the elements within leader and spot, so it's going to count up all the leaders, basically. And as long as IDX is less than that, then it will loop. Sorry. Start here if you want to do your for loop. This is a good, I guess, like a good start. Ignore what I was saying earlier, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm talking through it. Okay. Cool. Now, what we have to do is we actually have to, at the end of this, we have to add to IDX. So if we look at our thing, I'm pretty sure it does it. Yeah, at the end, it does an add IDX1. So it doesn't increment automatically. There we go. Save. Cool. Now, the important part is what we want to do inside of it. So, IDX. It's going to take the element of IDX within the leaders and spot. So it's going to find like the index of IDX. It's going to be like, oh, if IDX equals 0, then it'll take the index element 0 out of leader and spot. If it's 1, it'll take the element 1 out of leader and spot. And then 2, so on, it keeps going. And then it sets that element to, or the current leader to that element found in the character variable. I know that's, I mean, like, hopefully you're following. If not, I understand. We're gonna keep going though, and see if we can make this work, and hopefully it helps you understand a little bit better. So you can say there is a leader known as current leader. In your spot. Cool. And that should just work. Honestly, let's go ahead and try. Play! Lost technology, let's go! Full screen! Oh my gosh, I make some awful tutorials, don't I? But that's okay. I'm remembering, because I actually haven't done a character variable little loop like that in like months. Or maybe like a month, I don't know. Probably hasn't been months. Oh man, it's fun though. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna do a character variable tutorial. Do you remember how to do character variables? No. Can't be bothered to watch the opening. We're gonna leave. Your character is within the Renaud Empire, or in the Renaud Empire faction. Cool. There's a leader known as Baldur in your spot. There's a leader known as Fire Mage in your spot. Now, it's gonna go through all the leaders. Imperial Foot Soldier, Imperial Foot Soldier, Imperial Cavalry Recruit in your spot. Wow. So, if you look, it's gonna do like all of the leaders, and the leaders are like the guys at the front. That's neat. I'd like it to only do characters. To be honest, I don't know if I remember how to do that off the top of my head. We were only getting the leaders. What we should do, I think it's talent. I think talent is what we're actually looking for. So if we only want the talent, can we find a store talent? Yeah, we could probably find store all talent. So what this will do? Oh, this is store all talent for like all the characters in the whole game. We don't really want to do that. I want to store all the talent of a specific faction. So I was wondering if we could do that instead. Maybe not. Store Master of Power? Master of Power is kind of fun. That tells you like who the leader is. We don't necessarily want to do that. I want to look for talent. I may not be able to find it. Ooh. We may not be able to. Hold on, let me zoom. Okay, talent. We find talent. If not, we could also store talent power. Unit character. Oh, okay. Now that's just getting the wait. Time whenever someone is blank. Or we put the unit in there and we get their power. Okay. And this will just store all talent. Okay. What if we did something a little bit more advanced? We are going to store all of the talent. So all the characters in the game that are currently available, and by talent I mean like special characters. And then we're going to get back only the characters that are within a certain faction. That seems a little daunting, but I think we can do it. So we're going to store all talent. So we're going to put this in here. We're going to go boop, in here. We're going to go down. Actually, we'll do it above it. Boop, boop. Okay. So this is gonna store all characters. Wow. So this will store all characters. We'll call it like all characters. Yeah, sure. This variable is now called all characters. Now we want to go through all characters and find every character that is within Renauld. So we can actually use this loop that we just created down here. We're gonna put it back up here. We're gonna make a loop. We're gonna loop through every character. So we're actually gonna loop through all characters. So we're gonna have the count be all characters. We're gonna loop through all characters, and we'll just say current character. Okay, we're not gonna do a message because we don't want a message for every character. I mean, we could technically do that. That'd be kind of a fun thing to do. You know what? We should probably do that. So we'll see. There is a character. We'll do this first. This is dumb. You can skip ahead if you already know what this does. But we can say there is a character named this out there. Okay. Now, if you don't know what that does, if you haven't been paying attention or following along very well, or you just like me and I have no idea what's happening any of the time, we're gonna find out what this does. So I'm storing all the characters, and then I'm gonna go through a loop with all of them. And basically, I'll show you what that means. Oh, we're gonna go Baldor. Yep. Nope. Can't be bothered opening. Your characters in the Renauld Empire faction. There's a character named Agnes out there. There's a character named Alaletti? Yeah, so if you also notice, while we're going through all the characters in the game, they're in alphabetical order. That's kind of interesting. I mean, it's just a thought. But yeah, look, these are all the named characters and they're out there. And a better representation of this, you can actually use, instead of message, let's do talk. Talk. We can have current character. You know the talk function? You have to name the character first that you want talking. And then you can say like whatever is the dialogue. So I am here. Well, here. So we can actually do this. Oh, no. Save. And now let's go into Lost Technology. Yippee! Full screen. Okay. Now we're gonna go into modding tutorials. Yippee, we love modding tutorials. Okay, go to normal game, Prolog birth. We're gonna try this one more time. And we're gonna see, I'm excited. Nope. Leave. Okay, I am here, says Agnes. I am here, says the Frogman. I am here. Look. So you can actually do this to get characters to talk, which is kind of silly, isn't it? Isn't that kind of silly? I don't know. I thought it was kind of silly. So yeah, you can do this. We don't want to do this, really. We want to get all the characters within our own faction. Boop, boop. Okay. So we actually know our own faction right now. We made it earlier, didn't we? Yeah. Store power of unit. We want to get every unit within power of character variables. Wait. Yeah, okay, that's a weird name. Why did I name it that? It's okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something even more funky. We're gonna do an if statement in here. Let's get rid of this talk function because we don't want every character to talk to us. That would take forever to get through. We're gonna say like if current character, actually, yeah. Before this, actually, we want to store the power of the current character. So we're going to store the power of the current character. Boop, boop. Right here. And we're going to say, like, current character power. Power. So this is getting the current character's power. It's like, oh, it'll go through each character and it'll be like, what power or faction are you from? It'll give us that. So we're going to say, like, if current character power is equal to the power of our character. So our player character, which is the variable I made here. And if it is, we want to add to a character variable. So we're going to make a new character variable. Boop, 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 boop. Yippee! How do I do that? How do I actually store a character variable? There is a function for it. Let me find it. Saving a character. No, there is a thing for it. Store index new. It might be back here. 8 new. Add string, maybe. Oh, this is adding a string within the character. I don't think. Yeah, I want to add variable. I think this is it. Add variable. So we're gonna add variable. That's what we're doing. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's what. Right? Take him to the end of the. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think this is fine. Alright, yeah, we're gonna try this. Cool. So we're gonna add character variable. We're actually going to add. We're gonna make our own character variable. This is gonna be called like characters in player faction. Wow. And then we're actually going to add the current character to that. Okay. Wow. And then at the very end, we'll do another loop. Oh, actually, we'll just use this loop. Yeah, that'll be fine. This is going to display. This is now going to display all characters in your faction. Okay, cool. It's going to use this character in player faction, or characters in player faction will actually, that'll be better. So it's going to count characters in player faction. We're going to go through each character in player faction, and we'll call it current character, or we'll call it current char in back. Okay, so we'll use that. We'll say there is a character known as that in your faction. Wow. And I think that should work. Let's go ahead and try it. Alright. Full screen. It's getting epic. Okay. Normal. Prolog. Okay. We're gonna play as Baldur. Yes, sir. Did I cancel? No. Your character is in the Renault faction. Okay, we know that. There's a character known as Agnes in your faction. There's a character known as Baldur in your faction. There's a character known as Dithard in your faction. There's a character known as Euron, Horaz, Jared, Stig, Thaddeus. This is all true because you'll see that we have Agnes, Dithard, get out of the way, Horaz, Garon, whatever his name, and Stig, as well as like Thaddeus and whatever his name is, Thaddeus and Jared. So that worked. That was a cool function we made ourselves that actually got all the characters within our faction, using all the characters in the game and just comparing the power. So that's kind of cool. And we can actually use that function for any character. We could like switch it to another event, like if you were playing as the Dragon Knights or some other faction. And since it's all character variables, I mean, this is super. Hold on, let me actually get out of the game. Boop. This is super flexible because we're actually just like taking our character and we're using like the character variable of our character. Like it doesn't matter what character you pick as long as use this within like their event. You can use this in any event really, and it will get their character and every character within their faction. You don't have to do much like tinkering with this. And this is the power of character variables really, is that it's really easy to use for like complex like I guess like complex loops and algorithms, however you want to do it. So yeah, that was neat. Cool. What can we do with this though? Of course, that's what we're gonna ask. What can we do with this? Character variables are kind of neat, but what can we do with it? Well, there's a couple things you can do with character variables. I mean, like we were doing, since we're looping through each of them, like we did last time, with the money and stuff, we were looping through a numerical choice, or like looping through like all of this until we like clicked a button or something, and it'd give us money. You can actually do like add money. Like if you wanted to give money to like every character within your faction, you do that add money. And you can put it here. Boop, boop. We can actually add money to each character in our faction. Like wow. So if we did this, we're adding $1,000 redos to each character in our faction. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Or you could even do like a add skill. You can do like shoot. There's a function. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. It's not in here. Let me duplicate. Let me go out. Boop, 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 boop. Load. Translate for me. There is a events 2. I'm pretty sure. Oh whoa! I didn't mean to do that. Okay, translate. Yes. There. Okay. Oh, you can also do like add units. So if you wanted to add like all of the units of a certain faction, like let's say you destroy a certain faction and they're gonna die or something. You can make it and you have like an event or something that you recruit units, like all the units in a faction. And you want to make sure you don't want to miss a unit. Because you could make it static and only bring in like the leader or like the certain characters that are supposed to be that faction. Or it could be for sure and bring every unit from that faction into your faction if you use like add unit and a character loop for loop little variable thingy. Because you can do like all the units within that faction and then you add it to your faction or something. That'd be kind of neat. You can also change player unit. This is kind of neat. Another thing we could do. Change player unit. What this does is it'll get the unit and it'll change our character to that. Now, I think you might be wondering, well, that's not really helpful, because if we get all the characters into a thing, like we did last time, it's going to be in alphabetical order like it was last time. That's not good. We don't want to do that. There's another thing you can do. If you don't want it to be in alphabetical order, which I'm just talking about random stuff right now, you can use a shuffle. A shuffle, if you put it, it'll just shuffle the character variable, if you don't want it to be in alphabetical order. So we could do a shuffle. We're going to do this where we become a random character. How about that? That'll be kind of fun. We're going to store all characters, so we're going to get rid of all this. We don't care about that. That was cool, but we're going to move on. Actually, I kind of want to keep it, just in case I lose it. I can comment these out, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Hopefully that doesn't cause any errors. Sometimes commenting out stuff, like code like this, the game doesn't always like it. But I'm going to comment it out. Oh, shoot. It'll be fine, hopefully. So we're going to store all talent, which is all characters. And I'm going to throw these all characters variable within the shuffle. Boop, boop. There we go. It'll shuffle all characters, so it'll get all the elements and shuffle them around, so it's not like in alphabetical order. And then what we're going to do is we're going to become that character that it's like at... We're going to become the character that is at index 0 of that character variable. Is basically what is happening. So we'd even like... We could just throw it in there, just basically. It's just gonna return the first index. And we'll just say like message, or maybe like even a talk. Talk. I am now the player character. Wow. So whoever that is now the player character. We're gonna find out what player character we're gonna get. Let's go ahead and play. Let's hope it doesn't give us an error, because I did weird comments. It should be fine. I hope. Yep, we're fine. We're good. We're okay. Cool. Whew. Gonna go to Prolog. Hopefully I saved. I think I saved. It'll be okay. We're gonna go into Baldur. Let's go. Nope. Leave. I am now the player character. Wow, so it picked a random character, and it picked a... I don't know how to say her name. She's in the Demon Empire over here. Wow. So now we're that character, and we can go back and try that again, just to see it's, make sure it's random. Play as Baldur. Confirm. Cancel. Leave. I'm now the player character that is also in the Demon Faction again. Wow, let me do it one more time. Just to make sure, like, the demon... Oh, shoot, I accidentally exited out of the whole game. I'm gonna do it one more time just to make sure, like, I'm not only becoming the Demon Faction. I mean, it shouldn't be the case, but, just to be careful. I want to make sure that all characters are included. No. Okay, what else could we do after this? We could make it where all the characters join in one faction. That would be kind of silly. I think it might end the game, actually. Yes. Cancel. Leave. I am now the player character. Okay. And neutral is actually a roamer, or he's kind of a roamer at the start of the game. He's actually stuck to this spot. But cool, it's working. It even got roamer units, which is crazy. That's like all the characters in the game. So that's a random character maker, or random character picker. Blech. Okay. Character man. Okay, Wood, calm down. Now, what we should do is I want to be a little funny. I want to add a whole bunch of units to our Renault faction. Like, how do we do that? How are we going to do that? I think it'll be kind of easy, actually. What we're gonna do, we're gonna enter into a territory. We're gonna get all player characters. So we're gonna get rid of this. We don't need a shuffle. We don't need to change player. We're gonna store our all talent. I'm sorry, but we also want to store. We want to go through a loop. That's one thing we want to do. Okay, let me get a loop. I'm gonna copy this loop. Let me copy this loop. It's simpler. Oh. We're gonna go through all the talents again. Wow, we're not gonna add money. Probably not gonna message. What I want to do is I want to add all of the characters who aren't a master of a faction, because we wouldn't want to destroy the factions, right? We're going to add every character who isn't a master. And a master is just like the faction leader. So we're going to get all characters. And we're going to go through every character. And this will just be current char. Okay. Now what we want to do is we actually want to see if they're a master or not. So how we see if they're a master? That should be an if statement thingy. So let's look in if statements. So if statements are up here. Yeah, let me translate it. They're still in the same thing. They're above the faction, or above the variable, sorry. Conditional branching syntax, if or else, whatever. We want to find the if. That tells us if the person is a master or not. So we could probably find that pretty easily if we just scroll down a little bit. That's is player is alive, is talent is master. So we can say like, are they a master? If they are, it's yes. If they're not, no. So we're gonna say is master. We're gonna put an if statement. Doop. If is master equals 0. So that means if they're not a master. If they're not a faction leader, then we want. We want to add them to the Renault faction. Question is, how do we do that? We're going to have to go into our event settings too, and there should be a thing where you can add units. Yep. The unit specified for us, unit or leader. Okay. I think we can do this. Yeah. So we can add the unit to our faction. Pretty sure. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Let's go ahead and try that, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna add unit. The unit is gonna be our current char character variable. So we're gonna put this right here. Bam. And our faction is actually up here. Remember, store power of unit? This will get the faction that our player unit is in. So we can throw that here, and then make sure to put the @ symbol. Remember, @ symbol for character variables. I don't know if I've been saying that enough. So it's going to add the unit, which is the current char, and we're going to add that char, or character, to our power of our player character. As long as they're not a master. So as long as they're not leading a faction themselves, it should add every character in the game that is not a master to our faction. So, okay, cool. That makes sense. Let's see if that actually works. Let's play. Full screen. We want to do modding tutorials. Yes. Normal move. Prolog birth. Okay. Let's do Belder. Boulder. Nope. Leave. Okay. Now you notice we didn't get any pop-ups. That's because we didn't tell it to do pop-ups. If we look our thing. Oh my gosh, what are these? Who are these people? They're not supposed to be here. Philippine? Ilario? Mignad? Margaret? Reindeer? Dothmog? Like, these people aren't supposed to be in our faction, but they're here. That's kind of crazy. However, the other factions are still alive, but it's only their leader. Only their leader is still in charge. That's odd, isn't it? That's kind of funny. So we've stolen all of the characters in the game from all the other factions. So basically, we won. We steamroll, I guess. Yeah, we have so many different people. That's cool. Yeah, okay. I guess, yeah, there's Crooks. There's Threus, I think that's his name? I don't know. There's Claw. Oh, yeah. Oh, Cocoon Cotton. Cool. We did it. Neat. That was neat. Okay, what else? What else can we do? Let me think. Oh. How about we make a random character the leader of our faction? That would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it? What we could do is after here, we could do like a shuffle. So if I do shuffle, and then I got, let's say, all characters, and we shuffled all characters. And then, or actually, we don't want to shuffle all characters, really. Because we want to shuffle all characters as long as they're not a master. I mean, I don't really care. If you really care, you can make measures against it, but I don't really care at the moment. We're gonna change master. That's not it. That's the specify unit currently belong to. I'll make you the master of faction. Oh, actually, wait, should it? Is that fine? Okay. Makes the master of the specified force of the specified unit. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, okay, that should work. Cool. Just making sure. Sorry, I'm reading. So we're gonna get all characters. And remember, all characters, that's all of the characters within the game. And then we're gonna put it into our faction, which our faction is labeled up here. Okay. You know what? Actually, maybe we should do all characters right here. We don't want to do all characters. We want to do all characters that are within our faction, right? Yeah. I know how to do that. I'm dumb. I was thinking like, oh, that's too much work. But no, it's really easy, actually. Since we already have all the characters within our faction, all we have to do is get a random unit from our faction. So what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to store all talent within our faction. Yeah, never mind. That's too much work. I was thinking like, yeah, that could do it, but no, we'd have to do another loop, and I don't really want to do another loop. I'm kind of lazy. Yeah, we're gonna shuffle all through all the characters. Then we're gonna change the master to the character who is in index 0 of all characters. Let's go ahead and see if that works. It could be the case that we get another master of another faction to be the master, since we're not only doing it from our faction. You could do the previous loop I did earlier if you want to do that, which would be like get all the units within our faction. But I'm too lazy to do that at the moment. So I'm just going to show you what happens if we get a random master. So it's basically like a random election. We pull lots, and whoever pulls right. So like Agnes is currently the leader of our faction. We're going to pick Baldur. Click cancel. Leave. Okay, who's currently the leader of our faction? We hover over here. Oh, look! I think that's Margaret. If you look, Margaret, she is now leader of our faction. You see that she has the master rank here. So now she leads Renald. Wow, that's kind of neat. Okay. Neat. Now, what we could do is we could make it every turn that our leader changes. I don't know, like some weird random election every turn. How we would do that is we're going to go back to our previous tutorials where we made events. Now you see within story battle, no, we don't want to do story battle Baldor. That was a pain. I sucked at that. We're going to make a new event within world map. So we're going to do if, excuse me. We're going to make an if statement. And we're going to say like if new turn. So let me go find new turn within here. So we want to find if it's a new turn. So if is new turn. We are going to call an a event. So if it is a new turn equals true. Then we'll do an event, let's say like we'll call the event like random election. And random election's only really going to happen for our faction at the moment. So I'm just going to go and pick up like a random event, copy this. I'll throw this like near the bottom but above the battle events. I'm going to call this random election. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it here. Yeah, okay. So in random election, we're going to do our funny thing where we... where are we? Store all talent characters. Is this where we did it? No, this one. Yeah, so we want to get all characters. Yeah, this one. Just all of this, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I guess we can get all of it. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't like this line. I don't like the message. Some of this I think is redundant, but we'll worry about that later. The random election. We're going to throw all this in here. Bam. So it's going to do this every turn. It's going to store the player unit. It's going to store the power of the unit. It's going to store the spots. We don't really need the spots, actually. I don't think we even need the leader of spots. We're not using that. That's what I meant by redundant. I'm going to store all the characters right here. Then we're just going to go through, you know, all of the characters and then, like, check our faction and add them to our faction. Yeah, we want to do that. However... we actually just want to get character variable. We just want the election part to happen, actually. Thinking about it. This one, this little part right here. We can get rid of all the other faff. We don't need all the other faff. So if we go down here, we can get rid of all this other faff. Yeah, we don't need this. We just need to store all characters. And we're going to shuffle all characters and change master to, yeah, our master. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's what we want to do. So what it's doing, getting our character, storing the power of our character, so this is the faction we're in. It'll get all characters, it'll shuffle all characters, it'll get our faction variable, and then put in the index 0 of all characters, which it's randomized because we shuffled it, right? So the index value of 0 is randomized for that. Or like the value in it. Okay, cool, neat. That should work. So every turn, every new turn, we should have a new leader of our faction. Why you would want to do this? I don't know. I mean, maybe you have a weird faction thing going on with your your faction. You wanted to, you know, randomize it a little bit. Be like it's a democracy or republic. Every like turn is a year or something, and you elect a new representative. Yeah, it's kind of neat. We're going to click Baldur. Yep. We don't want to watch the opening. Leave. Okay, so if you look, who's our current leader? This guy, I don't know that guy, I forget. He's from either the Dragon Knights or the Knights of Kunz. I think the Knights of Kunz, actually. Now we have a new leader, look! It's a pirate guy! Shoot, where is he? Yeah, there he is! I think, yeah, it's Orver? Orver. He's now the leader, so if we click it and turn again, things will actually start happening now. Whoa. Or he's the leader of the Ronald Empire and he's attacking. Oh, look how many characters are attacking! Oh my gosh, yeah, we just destroyed them. We might be involved into a battle, actually. Look how many characters he has! Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, he's actually making us attack, so we'll do a little mission, just for fun. Take a little break from all the modding. Well, actually,
では参るとするか。
let's
ついに敵と接
go!
触。
進軍するぞ。
我々の任務は公営を守ることだ。
私たちが優勢のようですね。
やべ。
やべ
戦況がわかんねえ。
私もお手伝いします。
我が隊は武器を捨てた者を殺しはしない。
大丈夫です。
Okay, they're yapping.
地形も兵数もこちらが有利。
Oh shoot, no.
無理せず治療を受けてくだ
I
さい
actually
ね。
turned the voices off. Yeah, look, that's kind of neat. We have a whole bunch of random people in one faction. Oh, it's working. Okay. Here, let me turn ultra ill fast. Alright. Oh. Neat. To make it a little bit better, we could also have the person being elected say they're being elected. I'll show you how to do that in a second once we're out of this battle and we see the new person. Wow. Okay. Alright. Who's the new leader now? Oh, it's still. Oh, no, wait. We have to intern. It has to be a new turn. I forgot. Oh, don't tell me we're gonna have to fight again. Is it gonna tell us who the leader is, though? Oh, no, it's still Orvor. It didn't randomize into Orvor again, did it? No, surely. Maybe our event's not functioning like it should be. I think that's probably the case. We're gonna do one more battle. But I have a suspicion that our event is not working because we shouldn't have gotten over Orvor, however you say his name, 2 times in a row. It's pretty unlikely. There's like 100-something characters or more. Unless it just got him again. So it could be something wrong with our conditional statements. Kill! Kill! Did I do ultra? We're winning! Okay. Cool, we're one. Okay. Change leader? Yeah, okay, now we got a new leader. I guess Orvor got picked 2 times in a row? That's kind of crazy. Now we got Giron, or whatever his name is. He's now the leader of Ronaldo Empire, which is actually kind of cursed a little bit if you know the story. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Okay, cool. And the other factions, I'm pretty sure they don't have any character variables. They shouldn't. Yeah, it's just the leader still, but with, a lot of mob units. Cool, so that's working. Neat. I think I might close the video soon because we've gone in like 53 minutes into it, 54 now. So we may wanna slow down a bit. I might end here, and then maybe in the next video we'll expand even more on character variables, because we can use character variables in a lot of different ways. We can use numerical variables with character variables as well, and get some kind of fun things going. Another thing I want to explore more also is battle events. So events that happen in battles would be kind of fun to explore too, because battle events are really interesting. They have a lot of conditional statements actually just for battles. And you could even make it like your own little RTS games as well with battle events. And if you've played Lost Technology, you might think like, oh, RTS, that's kind of crazy. Because with some effects, you can actually make it where it spawns units. And with the character variables, you can make it spawn specific units or random units, like even within your faction that aren't participating in the battle just yet. I don't know. We could do some fun things with it. I'd say if you've kept up this long with the video, experiment with your, experiment yourself a little bit. Go to the website. I'll have it linked either in the description or in the comments. Probably the description because I've done that for the other videos. And you can look there and just experiment a little bit with character variables. Character variables are really fun. They're really silly. You can do a lot of stuff with them. They're very powerful. And honestly, if you're able to use them, I'd say use them because they make your game or your scenario, whatever you're making, a little bit more interesting. And also, it can also make some events a little bit more usable as well. Next time, I'll try to explain a little bit more and like show a little bit better examples on how you could probably use character variables. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do a tutorial over next because we kind of covered a basic overview of like all of the different things, all of your different tools really so far. But yeah, keep modding, keep doing your thing. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you watching. All right. Have a good night. Ooh.